You can see it's a two-person show this afternoon. I think I'm the warm-up guy, and then the real person comes on who's our product manager. You can also see I'm going to take you on a journey. We're off to Switzerland this afternoon. You probably didn't expect this. I work for a Swiss company, Alpec. It's known for energy generation, energy trading. And on this journey 2 years ago, if I press the right button, we decided we'd insource our service desk. Why? Well, we made a lot of money in the last 2 years. It seemed a good idea. We'd insource our laptops, our computers. We'd move our data center, all in 1 year. It's going pretty well. But where did we start? We knew we had products already like Atlassian as a base. We knew we already had a team that were quite capable using Jira, not so much Jira Service Manager, though it did exist. And we'd define our goals. Agile. Every project manager I meet talks about Agile. Not everyone understands it, but we were lucky enough to have Michaela, a good Agile product manager. We set our sights low. We would build a team. How big should the team be for the actual service desk? If any of you have been involved in budget and planning, maybe you start on the wrong side of the equation. We had maybe $2 million to spend. Some of that was going to buy us some new laptops. Some of it had to pay the salaries of people. Some of it had to be the project managers and the development team that were necessary, working with some outsourcing companies. So the goals are quite simple. We had a strict deadline. By the 1st of November last year, we had to have everything in place. The challenges and the business impact. The business didn't want it. It was difficult convincing your board that we should put in place a service desk. We already had one. They're in Portugal. There's 55 of them. They answer the telephone, but they answer it really badly. We need a bespoken service desk that understands the nature of our business. Simple as that. How many? Well, the mathematics say it should be 9. No other reason. Just the mathematics say it should be 9 people. So one of my first jobs was trying to build up the service desk team, the Magic 9. The results of the first stage, we delivered. The good news is I jumped straight to the end. I create that tantalizing moment. We delivered. 1st of November last year, we went live. Between myself and Michaela, we'll fill in some of the details of what took place on that journey. I'm a very lazy person. All my PowerPoint, it doesn't move. I'm not part of a dance group. I can't pronounce the name of characters in a Dungeons & Dragons scenario. But I like to use generative AI, because I like AI a great deal. My big thing, and Michaela will continue the theme, is that AI becomes part of that journey. Maybe some of you are looking at it already. I also have a bad leg because I went to the gym, which is stupid. If I fall over, it's nothing dramatic. I'll pick myself up and I'll continue in the presentation. So the problem space and the significance of Agile I already mentioned. We had roughly around 12 months to try and build that team. We brought them in last May. I had a simple plan. I needed someone that knew the business really well. And I brought back a young lady called Dilvin. She knew everybody in the company. She knew nothing about Atlassian, nothing about ITSM, nothing about ITIL4. The last presentation, I think, went into great details. And we throw in words like transformation, transformative, it's going to change the world. But the reality is it was going to be 9 people that needed to change our world. 9 people that needed to figure everything out very damn quick in terms of where they go. I put 4 key words: integrating, boosting, improving, and efficiency. The efficiency comes from trying to remove the silos. You know, the level 3 team, the level 2 team, the level 1 team, and the level 0. If you've not come across that before, level 0, fix it yourself. There's a knowledge article. Type in the portal, do it yourself. I've locked myself out my computer. I can't. Phone this number. We also had Microsoft Teams coming on board. We wanted to integrate with Microsoft Teams. We wanted to integrate with other elements for our portal. We had to insource our knowledge management. We had several hundred, maybe 800 knowledge articles, all in the wrong format. Move them from ServiceNow, if you're familiar, into Atlassian. We don't want to do it in Word. We don't want it in XML. PDF, how do we import it? What do we do? That was a hard task, but we did it. Creation of an efficient and user-friendly service environment. I told the guys, I recruited the 9 guys. Not guys, that's my American terminology. Men, women, black, white, diverse, LGBT community. We ticked every box by chance. The guys were amazing. They came in, they learned everything very quickly. It was painful for them. At first, we took the 9 and we sent them to Switzerland. We fed them, we took them around the mountains, we showed them under Drance how we can dig out a large mountain. That's one of them just coming in from stage right. They've been working 24/7 as usual, trying to solve everyone's problems. But they're user-friendly. I told George's real name, a Czech name, Jerzy. I'm English, I can barely speak in anything except English. And my English, I hope you have channel 2 to translate what I'm saying back into English, because sometimes I'm quite fast when I speak. Trust me, I'm slowing myself down today dramatically. I get very excited by Atlassian, and I get very excited about our relationship with Metarinf. They're amazing. They've been a partner all the way through that period of time. Challenges, business impacts, costs. You know, our CEO knows the name of a lot of the people on the service desk. They're impressed. Wow, you did it. They arrived in May. You delivered everything you promised you would. The knowledge articles are working. We're growing the knowledge articles. Let you into a secret. The lady that comes on did all of this. I was that guy. What was his name? The Hungarian guy who walked around the fort? Bilar? Was that the correct name? I say it wrong. I was just trying to stop things dropping on the management team or from the management team to make it work. Data showcases inefficiency, I should say. When you can track every moment from the phone ringing to who picked up the phone, to who dealt with the ticket, to why the level 2, level 3 resolvers didn't do it correctly, because I don't want anyone on my team, the service desk, to be blamed. I have a site reliability engineering team and I have other engineering teams, but fundamentally, I wanted to prove that we'd removed certain inefficiencies, and if there were inefficiencies, it wasn't the service desk that was causing them. They're not necessarily just a catch and dispatch team. They can actually solve the problems. We give them assistive technologies, we give them knowledge articles, we build our in Confluence, we build the knowledge bases, we give our knowledge bases nice names like NoNet, so we know what's going on. And I can prove it once a month when the CIO says, why weren't these dealt with? I said, because the numbers are wrong. They were dealt with, and we can backtrack and show them where those numbers came from, why they're incorrect. We're still improving the process. 1st of November, we went live, I mentioned earlier. Generative AI, beautiful diagram. This is what we do once a month. This is an English gentleman called Graham who stands there and presents some numbers and metrics, pulls the metrics out of Jira Service Manager, and displays them. What took where and when, how we're improving, how we're creating business value with the service desk and these level 2, level 3 resolver teams. If I just see what I've forgotten on the teams, tool streamlining processes. Michaela also brought on board OpsGenie. We have 2 of the characters out there who helped us implement this, the OpsGenie. We moved our asset database across. We're trying to still carry on this project for another 6 or 7 months. We're trying to bring the EasyVista, the Corpter, everything online to allow for the next stage of AI generation. AI, when I say generation, integration is probably a better word at that stage. I get drifted easily into the AI world because I see the values of generative AI to take synthetic data, put it into knowledge articles, tie it directly in. The same way the Dungeons and Dragons game was, we can take log files, we can generate knowledge articles from that, and we can use it for quick, easy, efficient searches. I love this picture, except in this case, I'm not taking any questions and there's no answers. If there is, you can ask Michaela or something later on in the process. I think we're around for an hour or 2, so that's fine. I just read what's on the screen. We haven't gone fully on the AI fusion journey. There's a lot of CEOs and executive boards. They're a bit nervous about bringing all of this on board. How do you bring AI on board? Is it safe? Do you transfer our knowledge? Well, it's already in a SaaS solution, you know? Software as a service. We have iPaaS. We have integration platform as a service. We have our data center moving into AWS. So when we started this journey, AWS cloud technology was a big thing for us. We knew it. We've been using it for 4 years. When we wanted to move into Atlassian, we knew it, but we needed partners to help us on that journey. When we worked with our strategic partner to move the data center and move the service desk, they gave us everything we needed. We just needed to use it efficiently in terms of making sure the service desk could pull data out. Now, I'll let you into another secret, maybe my last secret of the day. A few weeks ago, we had a major problem. 3 o'clock in the morning, something went tick. Software started reacting and things started shutting down. If we didn't have Atlassian and we didn't have the product in place and we didn't have the team, the company would have been in a bad shape. But within a few hours, we'd restored everything, put everything back to normal. Having the processes, having the workflow processes in place, having Jira Service Manager, having Opsgenie, having an assets database really helped us find people and things very quickly. I'd like to take the journey, maybe in next year's presentation, where we go with AI and all of this. Because I'm a great believer in innovating ITSM with artificial intelligence. I tell the service desk, I don't want you guys answering the phone in the future. We have Teams integration. We can do this with AI. I want you guys or L0 to solve the problem because Switzerland is an expensive country. If the team in Prague answer the phone and they send the tickets back to Switzerland, we're tripling the cost of our solutions. By the time someone gets out of bed in Switzerland, already there's a big bill. His salary is umpteen times, or their salary is umpteen times the price. So, I leave it with the thought of AI. I think that's my last slide. There's a nice ginger-haired person from Switzerland. It's, you know, Michaela can come on and talk about the interesting things now. I just set the scene. I'm like the warm-up guy at a comedy act. And if you understood a word I said, my accent's from Northwest England. Next time I'll speak much slower. Or hopefully on Channel 2, our wonderful interpreter did a great job of translating what I was saying. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon. So I'm here to tell you more about how we actually made it to current stage within the toolset. So as David mentioned, and I was the service delivery manager, and still I am, for the ITSM part. So basically our agenda is to tell you how we did it, or basically where we started, how we got there, and then also what were our challenges and what was the customer feedback at the end, when we enhance our service desk and our toolset and move more towards Atlassian. So what were our challenges and where we started? So as David said, a year ago we kicked off the project with a different team, with the different people around, and our challenges were very, very high, and we were facing high challenge or a big challenge of the 8 months of having everything in a place, because it was not an option that we are late. So where we were, we had a very fragmented CMDB. We had it in a different tool. We were not in Atlassian, but as David mentioned, in the Easy Vista. We had very different processes within our IT, because just recently we merged from more teams together. So then also we were facing that we had to have the processes defined, standardized, and not just have them implemented. We were also facing challenges with the integrations. As David said, we have other platforms we had to connect it, so we were using for that our MuleSoft. And such as we have our service providers, so we don't do all the support ourselves, but we have some others, so we had to have our integration done also with them. So the incident management, CMDB, and so on. So all this was not really easy, considering that we had 8 months to deliver a reliable solution. But I'm more than happy to say that we did it, that we managed. And what was our team dynamic? Because we were not really sitting together. So for instance, I'm based in Switzerland, then part of a team from MetaInf is obviously then here in Hungary. We had also a big part of the team in Czech. So we were very distant. But it was not a problem. It was not the first project doing, let's say, remotely. And I think this can work very well. And also it brings a lot of experience from very different angles. So for instance, MetaInf brought very great best practices how to use, and other team members had a very different point of view, and also the ITSM. We wanted to, at the end, have everything working as good as we can deliver, but not, of course, the best, because we knew that this is just a starting point. We need to deliver the MVP, and this is also what we were focusing. We were not focusing on the perfect tense. And we said that certain things indeed might not be perfect, but still will be working much better than the current solution. So then, for instance, we had to also face that very different approach, apparently. So then we went for agile development. We were running our sprints. We still do. It's working fine. although sometimes we have to deal also with some operation things which we need to then consider into this one. So it's not a usual just development, because as David said, we also usually cover for the third level. And it was a lot of things coming, a lot of changing requirements, even sometimes within the sprint, which is obviously not ideal. And I think a lot of members could talk about such things are still happening right now, so we are still getting better in that. But it brought us there, because I think also this one is agile, so you don't stick with one thing, one approach, this is how you have to do, and you are more flexible. You also document, which I heard from some people is not really agile, but I very much insist on this one, that certain way of documentation is necessary. Otherwise, you end up with a tool, you don't know what you actually did there. And especially now, I think that we are very happy that we did it, because the complexity is just growing, and then you just need to have understanding, because you never know what can happen with any member of the team. And even if you do agile, so you have a different role, so you can cover for the different tasks. Still, if you fall out, then you might have expert in some parts. So if you don't document, then the rest of the team is in a big trouble. And especially with such a very short timeline we had and high pressure, that was nothing for us at least acceptable. What we achieved and what was the user feedback? David already reflected on that one a lot. So we so first of all, we managed on time, which was a great achievement. We managed, I would say, 99% of what we wanted. Still one thing we moved, that was the option, but it was more strategic decision that we roll it out only in after New Year's, not before Christmas, but still we delivered very great solution. User experience from IT is really good. So they really like it. They like how these tools can work together. So the Jira for us, the asset, for instance, was a completely new thing. In Outpeak, we haven't used it until then. So basically, that was the biggest value of this product, what we brought, the biggest enhancement. And it's great. Everyone likes it. So we are moving towards it. We are now enhancing more parts which we want to integrate in terms of our other tools, and also our other service providers who have more event-based, let's say, approach on these things, including then the integration with the CMDBs of the other service providers. And user feedback also was not only from our IT, so from my IT colleagues, because I'm also part of the IT, but also from our business, because we are a company, trading company, we trade the energy, and we were providing also this tool for our end users, so for the business. And they also like that. Some of them said, okay, this is maybe too complex, but I said, okay, that's fine, you can call the service desk, they do everything for you. And the tool still provided them necessary output, so they got their ticket, they got the full transparency, and then, and we got the transparency on how much time we spent on these things, where Jira is very cool, because then you can also connect to assets, you can go to Jira, you can get the dashboard, you can get the integration towards the Power BI. So in this one, I think this tool is very well versatile, and you can really do a lot of magic with that, even in such a short time. And yeah, what is our vision for this year? Because we obviously launched this one November 23. I would say December and the rest of November, we invested into improvements, fixes, and finishing off. And from January, we started a new wave, let's say, so second one, when we are doing more of the integration with our service providers. We are looking into the AI integration as well. We are improving on or enhancing functionality of our knowledge management, where we also want to bring way more integration, more of automation of publishing and having the things right, archive, but such as approved, so that there is really some governance around these things. Because otherwise, yeah, we can say, yeah, let's have an AI, but if you deploy an AI on something which doesn't have a structure, it's just simply not going to work, because neither AI can solve everything. Okay, and then, yeah, we would like to definitely continue in the Agile. It's not always easy, but I hope that the team likes that also, and we are gonna get very far, and still we are gonna get way further, especially with our CMDB accuracy, and it's gonna help way more, and then we maybe figure out also new things which some of you can then later use with our partners and the team. And I think that's all. Thank you very much for your attention.